Hello and welcome to the pre-lesson recording for the proposal. It's not lesson 5 for us. We've actually moved on a little bit more than that, but let's start taking a look. So the proposal is a plan for your research project. It demonstrates how you will develop your capability, which we've talked about, the knowledge and skills you will need to complete your research project, the sources of information you intend on using, how you intend to maintain safe and ethical practices, the timeline for your research, the people you intend on working with throughout your research project, and how you plan to present your outcome. As a guide, your proposal should be no more than 500 words or a 3-minute presentation if you're planning to do your folio incorporating some oral things, but I would recommend you do it as a report or as a table. And it can, of course, be over that. That's just a guide. So your proposal makes up two of the components of the performance standards for the folio. So it covers the planning component. So thorough consideration and refinement of a research question is demonstrated in your proposal. And thorough planning of research processes that are highly appropriate to the research question. So research processes that are highly appropriate to the research question. Basically, that means if you are doing a project on how to build a motorbike from scratch, research processes that just involved reading about how to do that in a book are not really appropriate to your research question. You would want to be doing research processes that allowed you to ask people questions, actually touch motorbike parts and explore how they work and actually have a go at doing it. Thorough consideration and refinement of a research topic. So this is where you present the original topic you came up with, your Lotus diagram and an analysis of your Lotus diagram, how it was useful to you and how you went about that process. You might include your narrowing down triangle, or you might include just a description of how you refined your question and how you did that in discussion with me. Thorough planning of research processes means that you are being specific. So I think I've already used the example that you wouldn't propose to someone until you knew a little bit about them, at least a little bit about them. So you're not going to make a research proposal until you know a little bit about the topic. So you will have done your 5 annotated bibliographies, and at least three of those sources that you annotated in your bibliography will go into your proposal, and you will say a little bit about each of them and why they're going to be kind of the key sources for your research. You may also estimate if you're planning to survey people, who you're going to survey, what kind of groups of people you're planning to survey. If you want to interview someone, actually give us some names. Who do you want to interview? So you're going to, perhaps you've already done some preliminary research on the internet. What key search words did you use while you were Googling? What search engines did you use? How did you access some of your sources? Have you visited your local library? Are you planning to visit your local library? Things along those lines. So here's an example of a pretty simple proposal in a table form. So the subject title, so here's your question: how to restore a 1950s Vespa to roadworthy condition. It's not really a very well worded question. Subject title: restoration of 1950s Vespas. How to restore a 1950s Vespas to roadworthy condition. Reason for choice: I like old Vespas and am more suited to restoring machines than designing them. So the refinement of the question here, this is very, very minimal. There needs to be a lot more evidence that the question has been refined. So research processes: search for a reasonable 1950s Vespa, reading about them, compare cost, etc. Research what others have said about restoring a Vespa, and there's some examples of texts there. Observation and photographic records from Vespa shop in town. Find other restored Vespas. There's a magazine that will give many good ideas. Ask for support from a specific person, an expert in moped restoration, and he's going to interview them. There's a variety of websites that they're going to refer to, and they've been specific about which websites, and they're specific about another book. Purchase an old Vespa, an incomplete one, for restoration. Talk to a mechanic, and he knows what mechanic he's going to talk to. Access existing parts, and he's going to get assistance from a specific person. So you can see this is a very specific, well laid out plan of what the research processes are going to be, and all of these processes are appropriate and relevant to the research question. Ethics and safety. So this person has said that they need to ensure that all the cleaning and restoration chemicals I use are disposed of in an environmentally safe way. I will try to use the most environmentally sound products. And there's two other examples here. What I would like you to do is return to the section on ethics, writing a question and ethical research. Have a look at the pre-lesson recording presentation. And you will see when we get to it. Ways in which ethical research needs to be considered. Pick out the things that are relevant to your topic and expand on how you're going to focus and be considerate of these ethical considerations throughout your project. And then capabilities. So this is where you insert the information from your capabilities table. If you go to proposal on the Moodle, you'll see that there is a template that you can fill out. There is also a proposal with prompts to help you fill out these sections. And the presentation slides from today, from the pre-lesson recording, I'm sorry. So continue with your 5 annotated bibliographies once you've gotten your draft from me, and be ready to get started on your proposal next week. Thank you.